Hello guys, welcome to Movie Mind YouTube channel. Today, in this video, I am going to explain to you the full story of the Tale of Tales movie released in 2015. Let's watch this movie story without being late. This movie has a total of 3 stories. Story number 1. This is a story about a king and queen in a kingdom called Lagrelli. The king of this kingdom is very fond of the queen. That king wants his queen to always be happy. But unfortunately they do not have children. So for this reason she was always suffering. There would be no benefit if all the doctors in the kingdom did all sorts of treatments together. In order to please the queen, one day the king calls the people who do the circus. However, one of those who came to the circus was pregnant. The queen is even more upset after seeing her. Anger shatters everything in the house. At that time the king came there and said to his queen, "I am ready to do anything for you. I'm so sad to see you worrying." The next day an old man in a black coat enters the king's castle. "I'll help you have children," he says. "A lot of people like you have come and gone before and said a lot of things. But none of us could help in this matter," the king said. But the old man tells the king that it is possible. "I know how this world works. The whole world is in balance. If you want to have one life, you have to sacrifice another life. After sacrificing like this, the whole world is in balance." "There is no imbalance," the old man told to the king. They both agree. With that the old man said, "Look for the sea creature and kill it and then take out its heart. That heart so taken out must be warmed by a lonely pious girl. The queen should eat the heart so heated. Doing so will make the queen pregnant." Since they want offspring anyway, the king sets out to hunt the sea creature. So he sees the sea monster after he lands in the water. That's too big and to be awful in white. Luckily that creature is asleep. So the king stabs it to death. However, he is severely wounded by hitting the king with its tail before it dies. Yet the king takes its heart and reaches the shore and dies on the spot. Then the queen comes there and covers the creature's heart with a cloth and takes it to the castle. Since he wants a girl to warm that heart, he selects a girl from among those who work there. The queen tells him to cook this heart with her. But while the girl was warming the heart of that creature, she was feeling something. That soon she will also be pregnant. The queen eats after that heart is cooked. With that the old man said, the queen becomes pregnant and gives birth to a child. But the maid who boiled the heart, at exactly the same time she also gave birth to a child. If the queen names her son Elias, the maid will name her son Jonah. 16 years later, Elias and Jonah both grow up. The queen is very happy with her son. But those 2 kids are a little different than normal kids. Both of their hairs are as white as a sea creature. Also they are both identical to look like twins. Also the 2 of them get along well with each other and become friends. But the queen does not want the 2 of them to be friends. So she tells her son not to befriend Jonah. Since her son is a prince, the queen does not like the maid befriending her son. But Elias befriends Jonah despite his mother's words. They both have the ability to breathe longer in water. One day the queen summons the maid and threatens to expel you from this kingdom if I see your son with Elias again. No attempt has been made to meet each other since then. But one day the boundaries will be crossed. Jonah Elias dresses up and walks over to the queen. She greeted him with affection that she did not think was her son. But she had a little doubt. Eventually he finds out the truth and expels Jonah and his mother from the kingdom. Elias tries to stop. But Jonah decided to leave without stopping. Before Jonah leaves, he makes a hole near a tree and makes water. "It means I'm alive as long as this water is clean. I'm endangered if they turn red," he told Elias. A few months will pass like that. Elias would come to the tree every day to see if the water was clean. One day that water will turn red. Something went wrong, and Elias realized that Jonah's life was in danger. So Jonah leaves the kingdom without telling his mother to look for him. After much effort he finds Jonah's house. Jonah is already married to a girl. Since Jonah and Elias both look the same, those who see Elias are very happy to think that Jonah has come home. Only then does Elias find out through them that Jonah had gone to the forest 5 days earlier and had not yet returned. With this he goes to the forest to look for Jonah. The queen on the other hand is very worried and upset about her son. The whole kingdom searches, but to no avail. At the same time, the old man who appeared at the start meets the queen again. Your son must return to the kingdom, that is, must sacrifice her life, says the old man. The queen agrees. Jonah, on the other hand, is trapped in the forest and very wounded. At the same time, a big monster comes there and attacks Jonah and tries to kill him. Jonah screams loudly with it. Elias wanders there for Jonah and hears Jonah screams and gets there. He rescues Jonah and kills the monster with his sword. But the twist here is that the monster is not someone else, but Elias' own mother. Little did he know that Elias had killed his own mother himself. Jonah's life is saved. Elias becomes king of that kingdom. This concludes the first story. Now story number 2. This story is about a king and 2 old ladies. This king loves girls. There are always a lot of girls around him. No matter how many people he spends with, he mentally wants to marry at least one girl. He drinks all day and waits for his future queen. However, the 2 old ladies live a short distance from where he is. The 2 are not yet married. However, their voice is very wonderful. One day while one of the old ladies was singing a song, the king heard the song. He likes that voice very much. He immediately follows the voice and goes to where the old ladies are. The king is so curious that someone needs to know that voice. The king thinks that the girl is ashamed and did not come out of the house. He also gives them a necklace as a gift. One of them is named Dora and the other is named Hema. Dora is more greedy. One day the king went straight to their house and rang the doorbell. When they heard that doorbell, they were both greedy, happy that their heads were about to change. Older people should be lonely for the rest of their lives if they miss this chance. The king said to them, "Open the door. I want to see your beautiful face." Too much tension in both of them. When the door opened, Dora thinks that if the king would look at their old faces and go back, and told the king that if he came a week later, she would show him some part of her body. With that, the king is happy that his love has been a success and goes away saying, "I will come back in a week as you said." However, they are old ladies so their skin is wrinkled all over. So they want to do something to make the body part look younger by this week. In this old lady's body only the fingers of the hand look a little younger. Dora uses some herbs to make her finger look younger. But the result will not be. The old fingers are the same. With this the crying starts. On the other hand, the habit of sticking the finger in the mouth makes the finger of the Hema look like a young. So a week later the king knocked on their door again. Dora shows the Hema finger to the king in situations where she does not understand what to do, and says, "This is what I wanted to show you." Since the king is already a lustful man, he cannot stop his emotions and says, "The finger is so awesome. I cannot imagine how wonderful you will be. Please come with me," says the king. They knew that the king would kill them both if they knew the truth. With this, Dora tells me that I will come to your castle in the middle of the night, but at that time everything should be dark. The king agrees. Hema, Dora keeps the body tight. After midnight, a guard brings Dora inside. The whole castle is dark. That night, the king spends time with Dora. Wakes up in the morning and sees Dora, the old woman next to the king. Did he sleep with this old woman at night? He shouted angrily, throwing Dora out of the castle window. Dora falls out of a window and gets caught in a tree branch in the forest. A magic happens there. The magician arrives and rescues Dora. Surprisingly, Dora, however, is made to look like a beautiful girl with long hair. The next day the king comes to the forest for hunting. At first glance, this teenager falls in love with Dora. Takes him to the castle. He decides to make her the queen of his kingdom. Dora, however, does not know how she became a teenage girl. Dora, a teenager, invites Hema to her wedding. But Hema does not know that Dora became a teenage girl. The dress that Dora sent to Hema was very expensive. Hema wears that dress and comes to the wedding. There Dora tells everything that happened to Hema. But Hema asks, "I'm going to be young too, how did you get this body?" "I removed my old body," Dora said jokingly. Hema believes it to be true. With the intention of transforming her body into a youth, she joins a man named Iron Smith, gives him an expensive necklace and asks him to make my body look younger as well. That Iron Smith is stupid than she is. He takes the Hema into the forest and removes her entire skin. This scene is much worse though. Hema is drenched with blood all over the body. With that blood, he walks on the streets. We understand that he will die soon. Dora magic on the other hand does not last long. His body begins to age again. So before his body was wrinkled he fled from the king. She returns to her home and is completely old. The second story ends so tragically. Story number 3. This is also a story about another king. The king's wife died a long time ago. He has a beautiful daughter named Violet. He does not like his daughter very much. One day while his daughter was playing music the king noticed a mysterious fly in his hand. It drinks his blood. The king was impressed to see it drinking his own blood. So he tied it up and put it in a glass case. Every day he sees it drinking his blood. It grows bigger and bigger as the days go by. Adolescent Violet, on the other hand, dreams of seeing a handsome prince and marrying him. The king, however, does not care much about Violet marriage. He is very happy to see that mysterious fly that is growing. One day that fly will get sick. The king brings the doctor. It will be dead as soon as he checks. The king pulls out the flea skin. Then the king goes to his daughter and tells her that it is time for you to get married, for which I am going to hold a competition. With this his daughter will be very happy. But whoever wins in that competition, by saying that they are your husband, he will feel a little hurt. The whole kingdom knew that competition was going on. Then the competition started. All the young men who wanted to get married took part in that competition. The king put that mysterious flea skin in front of everyone. Those who say the skin there is any creature, will win in that competition. Most people try but, no one answers correctly. Because no one could have imagined that a fly would have such large skin. The king is very happy. But then a strange man arrives. Someone must be scared to look at him. Seeing his shape they resist him. But the king gives himself permission, saying, someone in this competition deserves it. He hunts animals and lives in the jungle. He can sense the smell of every living thing. So he tells me what kind of organism that skin is. This surprises both the king and his daughter. Violet climbs the palace to commit suicide. The king went there and could not take back the promise I had made. It says that you must agree to marry him. Are you really my father? How do you give your daughter to a deadly man and get married? I am the queen of this kingdom, she cries. However, the king gives his daughter to the ugly man and marries her. The nauseated man drives Violet a long way into a cave in the mountains. Violet cried for many days and lived an unexpected life. One day when the man went out hunting, he saw another woman on another mountain near him. He gave me to a monster and married me. She begs him to save her from there. But because of the big valley between the two of them, the woman said, I have 2 sons. I'll bring them. They will save you. Soon her sons come and rescue the girl with the help of a rope. But the ugly man who noticed them within this, chases after them. When the terrible man comes holding the rope, they cuts it and they run away. But he attacks again in the middle of their path and kills them all. He looks at Violet angrily after everyone is dead. After a while his anger subsides with Violet hugging him. Then as he sits Violet on his shoulders, Violet cleverly slashes his neck with the knife near her. With this he dies on the spot. She takes his head and goes to the kingdom. His father is ill because of the worm. Violet is also soaked with blood all over the body. The king is saddened to learn of his decision. He knew he was going to die soon. Admiring Violet's brave adventures, her father makes himself queen of the kingdom. So the movie ends with 3 wonderful stories like this. For such an interesting movie explanation, please subscribe to my channel and activate the bell next to it. Also, if you like this video, don't forget to like and comment. See you later in the video.